Hello, I'm Bishop Marcel Danfus, leader of the Diocese of Alexandria, Cornwall, which serves the Catholics of Stormont and Glengarry. This year, our diocese celebrates the 125th anniversary of its establishment. Such milestones provide us with a wonderful opportunity to look back at one's history. Now, the history of the diocese in the area is indeed a rich one. As a way of remembering and sharing, we have teamed up with TV Kojiko to produce a series of 5 vignettes. Each vignette shows part of our history through the eyes of our bishops. We hope you'll enjoy the following presentation.
A diocese is born. The 50 years following the death of Bishop Alexander Macdonnell was one of growth in Stormont and Glengarry, which were still part of the Diocese of Kingston. A number of new parishes were created, including Nativity in Cornwall, Our Lady of the Rosary in Chrysler, St. Margaret of Scotland in Glen Nevis, Our Lady of Grace in Ingleside, Our Lady of the Angels in Moose Creek, and St. Mary in Williamstown. In April of 1889, responding to rumors that the counties of Stormont and Glengarry were to be added to the Archdiocese of Ottawa, Bishop James Vincent Clary in Kingston petitioned Rome for a new Scottish diocese in eastern Ontario. 8 months later, on January 23rd of 1890, Pope Leo XIII created the Diocese of Alexandria. One of the smallest dioceses at the time, Alexandria had only 21,000 Catholics and 10 parishes served by 12 priests. The first bishop named to oversee this newly created diocese was native son, Father Alexander Macdonnell. Alexander Macdonnell was born in 1833 in Lochiel in the county of Glengarry. His parents were devoted Scottish Catholics who named their son after the pioneering Bishop Alexander Macdonnell, the first bishop of Upper Canada. The Catholic Church left an indelible impression on young Alexander, and he attended the seminary at Regiopolis College in Kingston in 1857. In 1862, Alexander was ordained to the priesthood. Shortly after his ordination, Bishop Horan of Kingston assigned Father Macdonnell to St. Alexander in Lochiel in his native Glengarry. After 16 years of ministering at St. Alexander, he was transferred to St. Finan in Alexandria. Here, Father Macdonnell became noted for his business acumen when he initiated the rebuilding of the parish church, which was completed in 1883. His keen judgment and financial savvy contributed to his appointment as Vicar General for the Diocese of Kingston in September of 1886. With the creation of the Diocese of Alexandria, Father Macdonnell was a natural choice to be named as her first shepherd. He was ordained bishop on October 28th of 1890. Some of Bishop Macdonnell's first tasks were to oversee the building of a number of important projects in the diocese. They included St. Paul's Home for the Aged Poor in Cornwall, the Convent of the Sisters of the Holy Cross in Alexandria, and a new episcopal palace located across from St. Finan's parish. During Bishop Macdonnell's early years, there was a significant increase in the number of French-speaking people arriving from Quebec to work in Cornwall's mills. In 1892, Bishop Macdonnell identified the parish of La Nativité to be the diocese's French parish. About the same time, the Francophone community in Glengarry sought to be ministered to their maternal tongue. Bishop Macdonnell turned to the Archdiocese of Montreal, who sent Père Joseph-Élie Poitras to join the cathedral staff. It was during Bishop Macdonnell's episcopacy, assisted by Venerable St. Columban's Father George Corbett, that a hospital was first established in Cornwall. It was to be located at the corner of Water and York Streets, inside Ivy Hall, which was once owned by Ontario's first Premier, John Sandfield Macdonald. Partnering with the Religious Hospitallers of St. Joseph, work on the hospital began in 1897. Within 5 months of their arrival from Kingston, Sisters Margaret Donnelly, Anne Hopkins, Margaret Powers, Catherine McCarthy, and Janet Macdonnell had renovated the building, and the Hotel du Hospital opened its doors on June 17th of 1897. Sister Janet Macdonnell remained in Cornwall to oversee the daily operations. Her efforts are remembered to this day through the Janet Macdonnell Pavilion at the Cornwall Community Hospital. In 1902, the stresses of the position began to take their toll on Bishop Macdonell, and he spent the next 3 years in ill health. In 1905, he was admitted to the Hotel Dieu Hospital in Montreal, where he died on May 29th of 1905. Despite some difficulties during his time as our first bishop, Alexander Macdonnell was ultimately remembered as a good and esteemed man, who oversaw the early development of this new Diocese of Alexandria.